on?
Welcome to Brown Conversations. Welcome to the replay for those of you who are tuning into the replay, and welcome to the live for those of you who are coming for the live. It is another Monday, and it is time to have the Brown Conversation about all the things that matter. So as you all are coming in, make sure that you introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know where you are watching from. Tag some of your friends in the comments, and also share the broadcast on your page so that the people can come and hang out with us. How are you, Sab?
I'm good. I am good. I'm good today. It's always, I'm just blessed to see another day. I wake up every day and say my scroll. I'm reading a new book called The World's Greatest Salesman, and I'm good. What about you? How was your weekend?
I'm in busy world over here. Got a lot of transitioning happening, so trying to monitor that and keep my sanity, while I'm at it. So definitely excited to be here with our people. We see y'all coming on fast and furious. I definitely
so excited.
Again, I know. Want to welcome all of you to our episode of Conversations today. You are introducing yourself in the comments, letting people know where you are watching from. If this is your very first time hanging out with us on Conversations, we want you to type first time in the comments so that we can honor you. If you are always here hanging out with us on Conversations, go ahead and type "Hey, beautiful" in the comments so that we can honor you as well. Definitely excited. We have so much to talk about, but I definitely want to do our official welcome for those who are new to our space and kind of wondering what this is. So welcome to Brown Conversations. This is our virtual platform where we talk about all things brown girl related. We're here to connect you to other like-minded women, give you a platform to share your voice in the conversations that matter to us and those that we care about. So we want to invite you to follow along with our beautiful brown girl community and follow us individually as we take this journey through life. My name is Kimberland, and I am actually home this week. So I am in Central PA. I am an educator. I'm an author. I'm a life coach. I focus on helping women discover their God-given purpose. And tonight, I am one of your coaches. Oh, Lord, I said coaches, co-host.
But you are.
I'm like, no, wait, that's the other thing. Oh, my God, where am I? What day is it? I am one of your co-hosts for Brown Conversation.
Oh, geez. That's okay. But you are a coach. I am Sab. Or Sabrina. I'm one of your co-hosts as well. I come to you out of Dallas. I am a B2B marketing professional, podcast host. I am a forever student, daughter to Barbara, sister to Maria, sister to Tawanda, sister to Sybil. And I am just on a new journey, and I'm not sure if I'm excited about it, but I'm scared about it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that journey with you ladies in the coming weeks, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But welcome.
Nice. Our BBG family, you all always get the VIP exclusive to the things that we're doing. So consider yourself, okay, really important because you are. Definitely want to shout out a few of our first timers before we jump into our announcements for today. So we have Debbie, who is here for the first time from Alexandria. Then we also have Eugenia, who is here for the first time. So welcome to our first timers. You get spirit fingers, because you are amazing and we love that you're here. So go ahead and tag some of your friends so that they can join us too, because we are going to have a phenomenal time, y'all. So I have made an interesting cocktail today. I actually went to the stores to try. I went to try to get some Crown Peach, right? It's like my thing. And they were out. But what they had was like a canned drink with like Crown Peach and something else in it. So that's what I'm trying today. And it's pretty amazing.
Pretty good. All right. Well, you got started before me, so I just started. So I'm drinking a brut. I'm always drinking a sparkling. I don't know if you could see it on the camera. Anyway, I'm drinking a brut. I always do a sparkling during these episodes to just get a little bit comfortable, to wind down from the workday. So Kimberland is winding down. I'm winding down. I hope you ladies are winding down, because we have so much. We say this every episode because we work hard to bring you an amazing episode, and each episode is just getting better and better. There's some things that we talked about that we are just like, let's just let the audience weigh in on this one. And I'm like, okay, do I even want to share that? Should I say that? So there's certain parts that I'm just like, I don't know. You'll figure it out when we get to that part. So
so hopefully you all have something to sip on, whether that be water or juice or a smoothie or some other type of libation, right? But grab a drink, kick back, and hang out with us. So I know that we have some announcements, and really, really exciting is that we have Brown Girl Wellness Week is coming up next week. I don't know if any of you all were participating in Brown Girl Wellness Week last year. Drop into the comments what it was like. I can definitely say for myself that I just felt so full, and I got to hear from so many amazing brown girls about different ways to enhance my life. So we're starting it the 23rd through the 28th. Excuse me, and we have speakers from the 23rd to the 27th. So we have some of them. So yes, the ladies are like phenomenal. It was amazing. So we have some of them highlighted here. So on Tuesday,
yeah, a whole week of sisterhood, inspiration, all of that. So
all the things.
So some of the speakers, so we're focusing on you, the brown girl as a whole. So some of our speakers that will have, should we list some of this? I mean, you have them here, so I guess we should list some of them.
Yeah, so Danaewa Denise, she is it's Danaewa. She's also she hosts our sister circles as well. So she is a former brown girl boss. So she's going to be on to talk about journaling. And then we also have she's amazing. Then we have Shantia Thompson, who's also a former brown girl boss, and she is going to host a yoga class. So you'll need your yoga mat and all your things, and she's in your journal as well to participate in that space. Then we have Unetta Smith. She's going to be talking about building better work boundaries. And this is something we're actually going to talk about today. Like, oh my gosh, we all need that. Yeah. Then
I'm like, I can't sit in my seat. I'm so excited. I'm just like, like, I'm just like, no, I'm just kidding. No, but this one I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's so much. Then we have Samora Suber, who is going to be with us, and she's going to be talking about mindfulness and how we can practice mindfulness in all of our spaces. And then lastly, we have Yvette Poland. So she's going to talk about healthy relationships and hosting a Q&A about healthy relationships. So if you want to get an end to what that looks like, make sure you go to Brown Girl Wellness Week, and that's how you get registered. Guess what, y'all? It's free.
Free 99?
Okay. Free 99. Like $0. Okay. So all you have to
no excuses.
is go to browngirlwellnessweek.com to get registered and get all of the information for Brown Girl Wellness Week. And then we also want to make sure that you're connected to us, because this is not like the only thing that we do, right? So we also want to make sure that you are connected to us on our members network. So if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get all of the firsthand knowledge, all of the information about the things that we do, because we have brunches, we have all types of classes and all types of things that happen online, offline, in between line, like it's all this stuff, right? So make sure you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com so you can check out all of the things and see what is happening in our beautiful brown girl world, right? This is our VIP space. It's free of the algorithm. It's our space where we can be our beautiful brown selves without having to worry about being suppressed or any type of judgment. All right. Mm-hmm. So those are our announcements, I believe. So we are ready to go ahead and jump into the things. So,
all right, let's jump into the things. So we start out with new and upcoming and current movies. Well, this one isn't new, but we've talked about it before. Is Aretha, the movie with is it a biopic or it's a documentary, a biopic, if you will, starring Jennifer Hudson. I have not seen it yet, but the reason why we wanted to bring it up is just because there's a lot of chatter around it, surrounding some of the what's happening, what's happening surrounding her life and things that you didn't think should be talked about. I swear I thought this was PG-13. But yeah, so we always want to give the legend her RESPECT, and we're talking, and she talked about Kimberland. We talked about her trauma in this movie. Have you seen the movie yet? Have anyone else?
So this is the thing, Sab, is that I thought that it was streaming, but it's actually in theaters, right? So I know like who has gone to see it, right? Because I have not trained myself to go back to theaters yet. So I haven't seen it. Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know. That's not how I think about it. I've been trained over the past almost 2 years to think about like watching things online. But when I realized that it was in theaters, I am going to go and see it this week. So I see Vanetta said that she saw it.
How was it, Vanetta?
And Eugenia said that she saw it as well. So I have not yet seen it, but after all the chatter, I definitely am going because it really is supposedly highlights the trauma that she went through and shows that side of her life that we never really got access to. So I think it'll be pretty interesting to check it out. I love Aretha Franklin, and you know, I'm here for her legacy. So,
you know, I wonder if any of her shade was in there, because if you all know that Aretha has some amazing shade. Do you all remember, and I'll really quick, do you all remember the YouTube series called Gots to Be Real, where it had Aretha, Beyonce, Patti LaBelle, and it was voiceovers emulating not mocking, but emulating the shade that everyone, Google it, Gots to Be Real, the number 2. I swear, I wish I could drop it in the comments. I didn't even think about it. I just thought about it just now. If you need a laugh, I promise you'll get a good cardio workout watching it and listening to it. It's very, very funny. Let me know if
apparently Monty and Gloria have apparently seen it. They're like, yes. Okay, yes. So I'm all for a good laugh. So I'm gonna check that out. Love it.
It's really good. So with that, check out Aretha. I will check it out at some point, because I am with you. I'm not ready to go back to the theaters yet. I still do wear my mask, but I'm just not for sure yet. But at some point, I do have to just take action and just go. But I'll let you go first.
I see what you did.
All right, so Netflix. I am a big fan of Netflix. They have a lot coming out. Okay, so guys, I'm about to say a line. You guys tell me. Oh, you already spoiled. Okay, what movie is this? What we don't have here is a failure to communicate. I mean, I edited that line a little bit, but
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
What?
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Major Payne.
Yes, it's Major Payne. So Major Payne, Kings of Comedy, Family Reunion, Dear White People is all coming to Netflix. And I am excited. I love Major Payne. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it. I've not watched Dear White People, but I am scared that I'm sorry, I'm not Dear White People, Family Reunion. Sorry, don't watch that.
Oh Lord, I almost said, oh Jesus, I need to take a sip. Sorry, go ahead.
I have not watched Family Reunion, but I do fret that Kings of Comedy has not aged well in terms of some of their jokes. You think cancel culture is going to try to come for Kings of Comedy? So
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. That's a good point, because I did hear some chatter about some milk and cookies before, so that may be interesting. But Dear White People, though, listen, that's my jam. right there. Like that show, I don't know if y'all have seen Dear White People. If not, you need to catch on up, honey. I love that show so much. So I'm excited about that. And Karen says she loves family reunions. So I haven't seen that one yet, but definitely we'll have to check that out.
Oh, okay. Before you switch, before we go to the next one, I'm going to do another voice, and I need you guys to guess what this one is.
Sab is on her impersonations today, y'all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
So the Borderlands are returning for new season sooner than most fans likely
Has expected starting on September 7th.
What?
Okay, can we go to the picture?
I didn't know.
So I was emulating Ralph Angel and how he talks. Oftentimes we can't hear him talk. We have to hear him talk like a freaking baby. So yeah, I was emulating Ralph Angel. Did y'all like that? Okay. Because that's how he talks. And I have to turn up my volume when I want to listen to Ralph Angel talk. But I love him. He looks good. So yes, Queen Sugar has announced their 6th season. So the Borderlands are returning back to OWN starting on September 7th. I am definitely looking forward to this. I love this show. I absolutely love this show. The lighting, not only just the show and the writing, but the lighting just does a beautiful job of making us look beautiful. So that's coming.
Yeah, isn't that something how we center in like on lighting and certain things like Queen Sugar and Insecure? They're really good for making brown people look amazing.
Good point.
Yeah, so I'm here for Queen Sugar. You know, it's in Louisiana, so I'm all for it. Bankhead.
I love it. Okay. Love it. So look out for that on OWN. All right. So next is Baby Girl is coming to Spotify. Baby Girl, better known as Aliyah or Aliyah.
Baby Girl, better known as Aliyah. Oh, sorry.
No. We should be excited. We should all be excited because we have been waiting for this for 20 years. I dare I say it. 20 years. Has streaming been around 20 years? I don't know if streaming has been around for 20 years, but so yeah, Spotify announced on a couple weeks ago that Aliyah's full discography will soon be available on the Spotify music streaming service, and I cannot wait. Although I do own Aliyah music via CD, I'll still play it. I have to look through it, but I still have them. But yeah, so on August 20, they're releasing it in segments, in stages. So August 20, 1 in a Million, 9:30, Romeo Must Die soundtrack. September 10th is her self-titled, and then on October 8th, I Care for You. We've been waiting for this for a minute, y'all.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. And I don't know if you all know, like it was her uncle that held the rights to her music that kind of held up releasing it to streaming services. But this is like a huge win for us, right? Aliyah was just taken like so soon, like she hadn't even gotten close to reaching her prime. So this is exciting, and I think it's all like all of us are going to go back in the Wayback Machine and just relive like all of those times. I remember being in high school, and all of our talent shows, like we were doing like an Aliyah dance and doing the 1 in a Million beat like on the cafeteria table. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
Yeah, she is definitely missed. I will say, like, her music still just hasn't aged. Her brand just hasn't aged. You know how certain people's brands age? Like Aliyah was like way ahead of her time in terms of just her artistry and her looks and just her overall just style. And she was just a beautiful, beautiful person, and obviously outside, but inside as well. We got a chance to really know her as she passed away and just over the years. And I am really glad that this younger generation will get a chance to experience the wonderful person that she was. So, yeah, you're right, Kathy. She would have been huge, and I just hate that it took 20 years to get her music out. Like, what's the deal, Mr. Hankerson? Like, come on, like.
Greed, child. Greed. That is all it was. Holding on to something that in control. So listen, I'm about to be streaming this like it's going out of style. You hear me? I have it on my calendar, like August 20th. Let's go. Alexa, play Aliyah. Okay. Facts. All
All right. So, yes. So Haiti experienced this past Saturday, I believe, experienced a 7.2 magnitude earthquake this past Saturday, and it caused widespread destruction, killing 1,296 people, and more than 5,700 people were injured. And we said that this country just cannot catch a break. Like, I am in doing research for this, they still hadn't recovered from their last earthquake from 2010. And I'm like, has it been that long ago? Because it feels like it was something recent. Because
it does feel like it was yesterday.
This country has just been going through it. Their president was assassinated. Jovenel Moise, excuse me, the president was assassinated. And it was said a lot of people, a lot of homes, I saw somewhere 4,700, a little over 4,700 homes were damaged. Just send our I hate to say send our thoughts and prayers. They're thinking about them. We're thinking about you. We're thinking about our Haitian listeners or our Haitian watchers and or listeners. We're thinking about you, and we just want to send our love to the Haitian community because you guys have just been through a lot. I will also mention that Naomi Osaka had pledged, because she's playing in a tournament this weekend, and she had pledged her winnings to the Haitian earthquake victims. So that was dope of her. If I'm not mistaken, her father is Haitian. Her mother is Japanese, and her mother is Haitian. But this made me think about like climate change is real. Like they're going.
Because there's also a tropical storm that's headed that way as well. So that just compounds everything that's happening. Leland was asking if we have any resources on what we can do from here. So what we did not want to do is endorse a particular source where the funds are not going directly to the people who need to use them. So we haven't yet found an organization that directly gets the funds there, right? So we know there are different organizations, and I won't name them, but they keep a lot of the profit. So we didn't want to put something out there and then it's not going to the people. So what we ask is that you all, when you decide to donate, that you really do your due diligence and make sure that wherever you choose to make a donation, that it does go directly to them. We're going to continue to do our due diligence. And when we find somewhere where we can say, okay, this is going directly to victims, that we'll put that information out there. We also, though, want to make sure, especially for those who are in areas like South Florida, for instance, where there's a large Haitian community, for us to make sure that we are being accepting and welcoming and understanding of the trauma that they've been through. So there may be refugees that wind up on our shores and coming into our schools, for instance, and understanding that they've been through so much trauma, right? So figuring out how we can wrap our arms around those communities and around those children and around those people, and providing them resources to help them to be able to maintain their dignity while they're seeking help. I've been through I wasn't even in New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina, but Hurricane Katrina, in my opinion, pales in comparison to what Haitian people have gone through, because it's thing after thing after thing after thing. So I just feel like they deserve so much compassion and so much grace and so much love from all of us. So make sure that we're welcoming them with open arms. Kathy did verify that Naomi's father is Haitian. So you are correct. And shout out to her for saying that she's going to donate to this cause. This really is a place where there is a community of people that need international support and oftentimes don't get it. And we won't necessarily get into all the politics here, but there's a lot about the Haitian community. They need us. So individually, we can definitely do our part in making sure we create a safe space for them.
Thank you, Kimberland. Thank you for that. All right, so our next is Governor Cuomo. This was COVID's relief's golden boy. So New York Governor Cuomo, I pronounced his name incorrectly, announced his resignation amid the mounting sexual harassment, unwanted advancement claims from, I don't know how many women. I know it was a lot. But he was also accused of deliberately obscuring the full scope of nursing home deaths in New York City. I remember that was a big one. And yeah, like I said, he was the golden boy. He was the king of New York, proverbially, and he was widely praised for his response to COVID. I was one of those people that loved his bravado and really loved how he came across in his authoritativeness and just this leadership. Is that because we were craving that? We had 45 that was just not a good leader. So he had the state of New York's goodwill and equity. I called it goodwill and equity. And what I will say is that he's a white man. He'll be all right.
So what I'll say is I was listening to some of the accounts that the victims were giving about the types of things that were happening. And I was like cringing in my skin. It was stuff like, he said something, there was a lady who was a state trooper. She said that he took his hand and rubbed his hand across her abdomen, like all the way to where her gun was holstered. There was another lady that said that he took his hand and ran his hand down the back of her neck, down her back to her backside. Like,
I'm cringing you talking about that.
Right. Like I just, and even in his video that he made, I feel like he made like a Bill Clinton, I did not have sex with that woman type video. Like even in that video that he made where he was resigning, there was no accountability. Like he still like didn't apologize. Like, I don't know. I'm just over it.
He will be all right. I don't care if he'll be all right, but I just feel for the many women who, like, it's where there's smoke, there's fire. And I hate to see that same term, but like there was just so many women after women saying the same thing. And I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, I believe them. I immediately believe them after story just started coming out. Like,
yeah. So it makes me wonder, like, about how do we balance that, right? Because like Tiffany said, we were like all on board with his briefings. He was doing them. I don't know if he was doing them daily, but he was definitely doing them weekly. It was very often that he was doing these briefings. But then on the other side of that, you are sexually assaulting people. Like, you know, how do we, or do we even worry about balancing someone's good deeds, if you will, with their immorality? It's a lot. Like, is it enough, like, for them to be doing the good deeds? Should we kind of just be like, well, I mean, he did a good thing, or like, I don't know. I'm just kind of exasperated with him and disappointed. I don't know. She said, will criminal charges be brought against him? Is there a possibility he won't admit or apologize for fear will be used against him in such a case? We don't know. There's still investigations going on right now. The attorneys are working with the victims to get their statements and all of those things. I do believe that he needs criminal charges. Like, it is not okay that that type of environment was created in any type of space. I don't care whether it was a working space or just freaking on the street. Maisha said Cuomo knew what he was doing and tried to cover it up with old school thinking. And that makes me think about that Trumpish type mentality of white men in power feeling like they can grab people by whatevers and get away with it, like, because they have the power, you know. Tiffany said, I can separate it if he was doing his job, but he's still a predator. Facts. Karen said, if the sexual harassment came before the pandemic, would we still think he did good work? That's a good question.
But here's a rhetorical question that may or may not require an answer. I mean, when is the bar? Because our current president was also accused of sexually harassing women. Bill Cosby, we know how that all had panned out.
Right.
It just makes me. They were asking him, not him, meaning Biden, to step down, and I feel like this isn't the only story where I can't think of anyone else right now. But if any of you ladies in the community know of someone else that was accused, and then they were asked to step down and they didn't, and they just kind of went out from the public eye, and then they came back.
Right.
Like I've heard these stories. So
yeah,
it seems like there isn't a bar, but I think for Cuomo, there was just a lot of scrutiny and there was just a lot of fire, and it was just the message.
And there should have been.
The message of what was going on was getting lost with what was happening.
Aisha brought up a good point. She said sometimes the good deeds are done solely to mask the bad deeds that are knowingly being done. So the right deeds for the wrong reasons doesn't make it okay.
That's a great point. Great point.
Yeah. Gloria said, wrong is wrong. He tries to cover it up. At the end of the day, sadly, people are different behind closed doors. Yeah. So New York will now have their first woman as a governor. It's a white woman. I can't recall her name right now. What?
It's a white woman.
She is.
I mean, she's a woman.
I'm just saying, it's a woman, right? So yay. It's a white woman. Feel how you feel, right? It's history nonetheless. So they will have New York. You all will have your first female governor as Cuomo has stepped down. So that's that.
All right. So next we have Team USA. Well, Allison Felix. So we're going to talk about her. She becomes the first woman to win. So the most decorated Olympian. And she's the most decorated Olympian. She finished third in the 400-meter final. And all I have to say about this, Kimberland, and you ladies, is Nike has to feel like boo-boo right now.
I know. They probably feel so stupid. That's goody for them.
Like boo-boo. So yeah, Allison Felix captured the bronze, and she becomes the most decorated woman in Olympic track history. And I don't know exactly the details surrounding her fighting back against Nike, but correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they tried to sideline her because she was pregnant, or they tried to do. And let me stop because I want to make sure that I have the right story, the right.
Something. Here. You're on track. Something to the effect of they sidelined her because she had a baby. They felt like she wouldn't rebound as quickly. And she was like, that's cool. I'm about to go ahead on and create my own line. Okay. And I'm finna go to these Olympics and win some more medals. Okay. So y'all look real stupid right now. Thank you very much. I'm just channeling my inner sister girl Allison that she probably saying behind closed doors. Okay.
They have to feel like crap, as they should. So she's the first woman to win 10 Olympic track and field medals. Some other women that made history during the Olympics is Tamyra Mensah. She was the first black woman winner of wrestling. I didn't think that was a thing. I know that sounds silly. I just didn't know that. I didn't know that women wrestled. I don't know, that sounds silly, but I've never seen women wrestlers. I've never seen them. A thing Moo. I wish we had a picture of her. Let me know if we have a picture of her. No, that's fine. Okay. But when you talked about her yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She's just striking. Striking is the word that I want to use when I saw her. She's just striking. And then, do we mention this? So a lot of Black women came out of the Olympics winning, got all of their winnings, got all of their medals, right? Out of track and field. So we all remember the story about Shikari Richardson out of Dallas area and her being unfortunately disqualified due to, I don't even want to bring it up, but she just became disqualified. But she came back in the news and was like, hey, I want to race the winners from the Olympics just to prove to you guys. She didn't say this. This is Sabrina paraphrasing. I want to prove to you guys that I still got it. I can run with the best of them. No pun intended. So yeah, she came back talking about she would like to essentially race all the women who won medals in the Olympics. And I was just like, skirt, skirt. I was just like, no.
Not skirt.
Because it's like, no, let them have their moment. Shikari Richardson, this is not your moment. Sorry, ma'am. That's how I feel about it. I just don't like this. I don't like her trying to get the spotlight now or try to do a PR move to like get into the spotlight because she wasn't in the spotlight. Y'all let me know. Is Sabrina on the wrong track? Kimberland, anyone? Am I wrong for being like, no, Shikari, no.
So,
I'm just like, no, stop it. Let these women have their moment. And she's young. She's under 25. So any woman under the age of 25, your brain still hasn't fully developed. So maybe she hasn't fully thought about, what she's doing. That was shade.
And you are right. But you're right. The brain isn't fully developed until 25. That is legitimate brain research. So that is a thing. So I do want to show the community. This is Tamyra. She is the first Black woman to win, like you said, in wrestling. And all of her Black girl magic, Black girl joy was just all over everywhere as she was celebrating her win. And then we also have a theme muse. Let me pull her up. And she is the first Black African-American woman to win the 800 meter race since 1968. So that's both of those women there. So then when we go back to Shikari, so I understand, I feel like Shikari is trying to capitalize on the moment, right? She needs to capitalize on things while it is hot. Otherwise, she won't be relevant anymore, right? So then, and with that, I feel some type of way because I feel like these women, these Jamaican women just went to the Olympics and won these medals, and now you were sidelined for what you were sidelined for, okay, but now you trying to take their shine to try to like be like, because if I was there, I would have beat you. Like, I don't
right, yeah,
I don't like it. This is the other thing, and I'm not here to like bash Black women, but this is the thing. If anybody is a PR agent, I really need you to like check Shikari, because her Twitter feed is like, sis, I need you to get somebody in PR, bruh. I need you
pass. Current or past?
No, current. Like she's tweeting like she is a 20-something-year-old young adult, right? Not like she is a world-renowned would have been Olympian, so it's like, ma'am, I need you to get it together. Like, I just feel like she be out here doing the most. Like, if y'all been on her Twitter feed, like, she be doing the most.
She do need a PR agent, like maybe.
Yeah.
Like they can give their services for pro bono. They do it all the time with like football players and stuff. So yeah, gather her. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Kimberland. She does need a PR person, especially when she was going through what she was going through, and in her interviews, like I thought that maybe she needed some training with some of her answers. But she doesn't have a PR person. I mean, she has some sponsorships. Still, I think she's still with Nike. Nike didn't drop her, but she does need a PR agent.
Yeah, and so Monty just brought up a point that we had talked about before. She said, as someone in the LGBT community, she was disappointed about her comments about Lil Nas X, especially with her being a self-professed bisexual woman. It's like, I need somebody who said, Monty said, gather her. Okay, I need somebody to get her together. So that she can like make good choices.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot with her. So yeah, I'm gonna be quiet.
All right. So on to the next story. We call this airline Break Your Spirit Airlines because they have canceled hundreds, maybe even thousands as of today of flights. They've canceled, leaving passengers stranded due to operational issues. I've seen pilots not show up. I've read pilots not show up. I've seen so many memes on TikTok about flight attendants and how they talk to people. I don't know if that's true. I've never flown Spirit. I don't plan to.
Have y'all flown Spirit? I want y'all to drop it in the comments while Sam's talking. Go ahead, sir.
What was the question that you were going to ask? Have they ever flown Spirit? Has anybody ever flown Spirit? Damn it. What was I going to say? I will say that if you've ever flown Spirit, if you decide to fly Spirit knowing exactly what they do, it's your fault. I know their flights are like $14.95, and we want to
cheap. They're super
here to Florida for like $15, but they're canceling all these flights. They're leaving all these people stranded. You see the fights on the plane. You see I won't say demographic of people, but you just see the people that are there.
Let me tell you something. Let me just say this. I will mop the ocean before I ever fly Spirit Airlines again.
Why?
You've flown
them before?
I have. So I had to take a turnaround trip to Detroit. I had to go, I went a night, spent the night in the hotel, did what I had to do, left the next day, right? Yo, bruh, real talk. I will freaking clean my house with a toothbrush, bruh, before I will walk before I fly Spirit Airlines again, bruh. Spirit is...
What was so bad? Can you tell?
Yo, so I'm flying to Detroit, right? And my flight got delayed, right? So I get there at 5 a.m., okay? So that I could get on the first flight get there, the flight is delayed. It's people in the airport that's been there since the night before. I had driven to Orlando, which means I had to leave my house at like 3 a.m. This is when I was in Tampa, to get to Orlando airport on time to be able to get to Spirit. I get to the gate. They sent me a freaking email like 20 minutes before, like, hey, yo, just so you know, your flight gonna be delayed to 9.
You got up at 3 in the morning.
I could have been sleeping. Okay, no worries. So it's other people in the airport. This lady was like sitting there. Her baby needed formula, because she had only planned to be gone for however long. Like, people was cussing out the people, and this is how they attitude be. Okay, this is me. Pretend like I'm a Spirit airline person.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we delayed, so empathy, I will cut grass with tweezers before I fly Spirit Airlines.
Wow. She said, look, if you don't have a time frame, a limited budget, and can fly for $11 round trip. No. You get what you pay for, unfortunately. Kimberland, I would be live it isn't the word. I need another word. Because that you got up at 3 a.m. to fly, to drive.
Yes.
Oh God.
Tiffany said she would choose violence. I was in shock. Like, it was my first time ever flying Spirit. And here I am in all of my bouginess. Like, okay, no worries. I'm just going to get on the plane and it's going to be fine. And I get there and I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. What is happening? No. So y'all warned. If y'all still choose to get on the Spirit flight after this, like, that's on you, okay? Just saying.
No. Like, I'm all about experiences, but no.
You don't want that one. I'm telling you what it's like. Don't even do it to yourself, okay?
I'm sorry.
As Karen said, that's a big no. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So our next story is, you guys remember that teacher who went viral a couple years ago for all of the handshakes that he was doing with all of his students? Like, with all of his students, when he greeted them, he greeted each of his students with a amazing, cool individual. Each of his students had individual handshakes. So the teacher who went viral for his personalized greeting with all of his 75 students, lands a Gap commercial, y'all. Yes! Can we those babies, like, you going to Gap? So it's David Jamison, the teacher from Memphis, Tennessee, went viral in 2019 for creating personalized handshakes for all of his students, secured a partnership with Gap, and he brought his impeccable memory with him and his students with him. So these babies look beautiful. You can go into Gap. If I only saw some images from Lenox Mall in Atlanta, but the fact that it's not just him, but it's just him and his wonderfulness as a teacher. He calls himself the dope educator on Twitter. But yeah, when I saw this story, I said I had to share this. We had to just share this good Black news with you ladies and or men. This is just an amazing, dope story, just to see these beautiful Black babies in the Gap, because they are so beautiful. When I saw the pictures, I was just like, I just wanted to hug him and kiss him and just hug him and kiss him, because they're just so adorable. And they just, like, he seems like an amazing teacher from what I saw, and his students look amazing as well. And he's definitely a looker too. That was something that got a lot of people's attention, got mine attention. Like, we just wanted to share this amazing story with you. So if you go into the Gap, remember that jingle?
Yeah, girl, I was a Gap girl. I didn't
Gap.
Sab, I worked at the Gap. The Gap was my first job. I worked at the Gap from the time I was 16 to 22. Like, I was like Miss Gap.
What was that
as an educator? Oh, I loved it. I loved the Gap. Like, I was like top salesperson as a teenager. I had free khakis for Live Child. I got me a Tiffany bracelet out the Gap. Like, the Gap was it. So this is like the major combo. Educator heart, Gap heart comes together. And yay.
Yeah.
Yay for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Tiffany said, exceptional teacher and excellent for Gap to boss up and highlight Black and brown faces. Yes, absolutely, Tiffany. I love this. Like, he was so excited. If you go to his Twitter, he has some video of him going into the Lenox Mall and just showcasing how happy and proud he is just to see the babies, all of their faces on this major campaign. And just highlighting how wonderful he is as a teacher and how wonderful they are as exemplary students. So we just needed to share this story with you guys. So
yay, warm and fuzzy.
All right. So our forever president, well, maybe Kimberland and mine. I don't want to assume that he's your forever president. Barack Obama, his 60th birthday bash was this past weekend in Martha's Vineyard. That's definitely on my to go to list. I want to go to Martha's Vineyard. He turned 60 on August 4th. And news reports shows that he was throwing a party in Martha's Vineyard, and it was an exclusive event. And initially it was reported that the guest list was 500, hashtag super spend. And when those stories, the news started to come out, they scaled down the guest list to 200. And so, yeah, John Legend was there to sing Happy Birthday. The Roots performed. Eric Holder was there. Valerie Jarrett was there. Valerie Jarrett actually introduced the Obamas to Martha's Vineyard. Tom Hanks was there. You guys remember Reggie Love, which is like tall, fine assistant. I think he was his assistant at the time. And then there was Erica. No pictures were allowed, you guys, because this was an exclusive event. So I don't want to hate that we show it, but these are the pictures that Erica took. And no pictures were allowed because they had an exclusive photographer there, right, Kimberland? Did you hear about this?
Okay. I did.
So she apologized for being a terrible guest, as she should have. They should never, ever invite her to an event again.
Bruh.
I mean, because we shouldn't be showing these pictures.
I saw the video and I didn't know what it was, right? I remember somebody being like, kind of comment, or Obama was dancing. That was kind of like the caption, but I didn't know what it was. This heifer done gone into the exclusive venue and taken all the video. Like, it wasn't just this one where like Obama was dancing, doing his little thing. She taking pictures with everybody else. Like, girl, she is disinvited. You hear me? Disinvited. But what I'm wondering is, would y'all have gone? Like, if you got an invite to President Obama's birthday party, would you have gone? Knowing that it was still a lot of people, knowing that it was potentially a super spreader, would you have gone?
Yeah.
I was like, dang, she's thinking about it. Let me tell you something. If I had to catch COVID and say that the last thing I did was hung out with Obese and Michelle,
yeah,
I'm dying happy.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious, bro. I would have been up in that piece. Hey, we doing a wobble with it. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I would have been up in that piece. You hear me?
Yeah. I'm with you on that one, Kimberland. I probably would have been like Erica and been like, because I need people to know, or at least I would have checked in on Facebook.
Oh,
I would have checked in. I wouldn't have took a picture, but I would have checked in. So people know I was there. Like, I'm at B.O.'s 60th birthday party. Like, that, but this is a milestone. You know, it's a milestone, just like 40.
Girl, I don't care if it wasn't a milestone. I don't care if we was just getting coffee. I would have been up in that piece. Do you hear me? That's how much I love Obese and Michelle.
Obese. I like that. Obese.
Because we cool like that. Obese. You know, that's our little pet thing or whatever. I would have been up in that piece, hanging out. You hear me?
Yeah. So speaking of super spreader, COVID-19 is, we always have to talk about this just to give you ladies and or gentlemen updates on it. So the US is now averaging 100,000 new cases of COVID-19 infections a day. I want to say what else is new, because it's like, dang, it's like, just wear your masks, people. But then I also saw some stories about Americans with weak immune systems will need to get 3 COVID-19 shots. And I'm like, even if I did have a weak immune system, are we up for wanting to take a 3rd shot, considering we're hearing all the stories about having 2? These are just stories about 2 not necessarily being effective. You can still catch COVID, but it doesn't warrant you going to a hospital and dying on a respirator and dying. We're hearing stories about New York City requiring proof of vaccination starting in. So I'm laughing in jest. I'm not laughing at the situation, but yeah, New York City will require proof of vaccination starting in September. Specifically, New York City will require workers and patrons at indoor businesses to show proof of vaccination starting September 13th. Now, so they're become the first U.S. major city to make such an action amid the surge of new cases nationwide. Amid the highly transmittable Delta variant. However, we know they slanging fake vaccination cards like that. What's an equivalent? Like
it's an underground ring. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is. It's an underground ring. People are making them.
But I did hear a couple got arrested, but I did hear they're halting that. I'm like, how y'all gonna tell if it's fake or not? Because when I got mine, they just wrote everything on there and had the little numbers and everything. So you don't, never mind. I don't mean to digress or go down the hole, but yeah, Texas, I'm just gonna call it. They call him Hot Wheels here in Texas because he is in a wheelchair. I laughed when I heard that. So Governor Hot Wheels, what they call him here. That may be politically incorrect.
I didn't know why that was. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they call him Hot Wheels here. And Governor Brett Abbott, I need to stop saying that. But it's funny. It was funny to me when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, that's what they're calling. So he filed a legal challenge to end the Dallas County mask mandate. So because things are spiking here in Dallas. So he challenged Dallas County specifically. I'm like, you got all Texas here, but you challenged Dallas County for doing a mask mandate. So Texas, what else? Who else? California, New Orleans. Oh my God. Jeez. California will become the first state in the nation to require all teachers and school staff to get vaccinated or undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. Kimberland, how do you feel about that as an educator?
I not just as an educator, but just as a person, don't really agree with the mandating right now, because it's not FDA approved. I think once it is FDA approved, I'm at A-okay with mandating. Right now, I do feel some type of way about mandating without it being FDA approved. Okay. I understand what is trying to be done, but I'm going to need them to approve it before they say that someone is required to have it.
And then Florida, I got to mention this one because you used to live in Florida. The Florida governor, DeSantis, I think his name is. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's his name. That's him. Threatening to withhold salaries from defiant school officials who are implementing a mandate. Like Texas or Florida is trying to implement a mandate. Florida school systems are mandating masks. And this governor is saying, well, you're not going to get paid. But then it came back that Florida said that it cannot withhold salaries of superintendents who would mandate masks in school districts. So I mentioned,
I want to add additional context to that. So the county that I used to work in, Hillsborough County in Tampa, which is the 7th largest school district in the nation, they have an emergency board meeting on Wednesday because there are over 6,000 students that are currently in quarantine right now. There is a school where the entire 6th grade is in isolation and quarantine. Teachers are falling off left and right. And there's not a mandatory mask mandate because DeSantis said that he's going to withhold these salaries and all these things, even though it's been proven that he can't, but he's still threatening. So it is really like a hot button topic. And this has brought out like all of the crazos that nobody really knew existed, like your next door neighbor, and you're like, oh, you special. All of these people are literally like showing up. It is so crazy, but that's something I just before we went online got a message that there's going to be an emergency board meeting to talk about all these students that are in quarantine right now because they won't do a mandatory mask mandate.
Are these students doing schooling remotely? What does that mean?
No, because they got rid of the entire e-learning option. So they just at their house.
What?
Ain't no teachers teaching. Like they literally like here's a packet of worksheets or whatever. Like do that while you at home. Like no, they have no access to education, and DeSantis has put them into this precarious situation where okay, there's no e-learning option, but now they're quarantined because it is rampant. So yeah. Karen said the whole Florida, 6th grade class.
I'm so sorry, Florida. I'm so sorry, Texas. I'm so sorry, California. I'm so sorry, United Airlines. Oh, we forgot to mention United Airlines is mandating that all of their flight attendants get vaccinated.
Yeah.
You want to work for us? Get the vax. Vac that ass. Yeah. Is that what it said? Vax that ass up. And remember that song from?
Oh yeah.
Was it Vax that ass up? Vax that arse up? Was it Vax that ass up? I think it was. Anyway, yeah. So this is all political, Kimberland. This is all political. This isn't about saving lives. This isn't about caring about people. This is about 2024 coming and DeSantis, Hot Wheels. Who else? I don't know about New York. I don't know who may potentially run in New York, but this is all political. And this is it. These politicians don't give a ish about us.
They don't. They don't. They don't. It's crazy. So y'all do what you need to do to protect yourselves, like real life. Because like, yeah, it's real. It's real out here in these streets.
Why is it so political to save lives? Like I want my rights. My rights are being violated. You can't, my rights. Your right to stay alive? Your right to not die? Okay.
It's crazy. So we need y'all to like get focused. Okay. Just be focused. Pay attention to what's happening. So speaking of being focused and paying attention to what's happening, we got wind of this story with Shaun King and his family. So Shaun King is an activist who let me say a multiracial activist who identifies as Black. And basically it came out that right-wing media had leaked his address like out to the public, and he was on social media, he and his wife soliciting donations for them to keep themselves safe. They have had to have 24-hour security, and they're looking to relocate to another area because they've been in the situation of their home address being leaked. And we're wondering like what you all think about this. I feel like our community is kind of split on Shaun King and his advocacy. We've reported before about how Tamir Rice's mom feels that Shaun King has profited off of her. So just wondering like how the community feels. Have you all heard about this situation? And what do we think about them advocating for support from the community for them to be able to have safety and living?
Yeah. I didn't know that they actually leaked his address. I knew that they leaked a picture of his home. So I'm learning more about the story now. And I did see some people saying that this was just what's the word that I want to use? It's just tacky. That's the word that they use, that he's soliciting donations from people for his family when he usually solicits donations, and he's been castigated for soliciting money from a lot of people. And he's done, and I heard stories that he's done this to other people before. And I'm like, no, he puts people on the spot, but he never shares people's addresses or people's homes like that. So I don't think this is a bad thing for him. Him soliciting donations from people. I'm like, you ain't got the money in the bank already. I mean, because you're already soliciting donations on a regular. But I don't know. Obviously, this is crossing the line majorly. Leaking his address, leaking where his home. This is unfortunate. I don't feel adverse about. I don't feel like this is too much. I feel like he has to do what he has to do to preserve the safety of his family, like his family, his wife, his safety. I mean, he's a target. He has a on his back.
Yeah, I worry about him. I really do. And I feel like a lot of the tactics, so two things. I want Sean King to be more transparent about financial matters. But the other thing is I feel like this is a COINTEL type of operation. Like it reminds me of, I don't know if you all saw Black Judas and the Messiah, or if you're familiar with the situation that happened with the Black Panthers, but it reminds me of that type of situation, like finding someone in our community to speak out against the leader and then cause all types of division within our community. And I was about to say maybe I will just admit that I am biased. I have personal relationships with advocates that are connected to Ben Crumb, but advocates that do this work. So I know that they don't profit off of the work, even though that is the narrative that's put out there. But I just feel like this is so dangerous. And I worry about Sean King and his family because, like Leland said, like doxing is just not okay.
What does that
mean? So doxing is when you leak someone's personal information, their driver's license, their social, their address, like all of that is considered doxing. It's just not okay. So I feel like there may be moles within his organization, or I just feel like this is a tactic that they're using for us to implode, if you will. So I don't know. I worry about him. So we kind of wanted to just bring it to you all's attention, to pay attention to what is happening and make wise choices about how we interact, like with the content and things like that, because it's a lot right now in our communities. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Kimberland. All right, so Juneteenth. Are we on to Juneteenth?
Uh-oh.
So Fort Worth becomes the latest city to make Juneteenth a paid holiday. Juneteenth, Fort Worth, Texas. So in Juneteenth, Congress went forward with their historic move in making this a federal holiday back in June. And so starting in July 2020, roughly 7,000 city workers in Fort Worth in Texas will receive paid time off as they enjoy their Juneteenth festivities. And Juneteenth, as we know, is the holiday originated in Galveston, Texas. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, it originated in Galveston, Texas, and it commemorates slaves learning of their freedom more than 2 years after slavery was outlawed and the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. So a woman by the name of Opal Lee in Texas, she is, a retired teacher, counselor, and activist in the movement. She was a staunch advocate in making Juneteenth a holiday. So we wanted to mention that because it amazes me how a lot of politicians were just like, yay, were they like, yay, Juneteenth? But then voting rights was like, no, voting rights, but Juneteenth is just like, yay, we support Juneteenth. But no, in words, we don't want you to vote. It's like that
peculiar.
It is.
I said that peculiar. Like you're all for like making Juneteenth a holiday, but you're not for making sure that people can vote. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I was surprised to see that Texas of all states, the most conservative place. I don't know, but I think it'll go blue come 2024. But that's a totally different story. But we just wanted to bring that to your attention. But what we did want to talk about, okay. So, let's do this together because this is something we talked about. All right. So have you all heard about Celebrity Showergate? And this is white celebrities who are normalizing not washing their ass and their kids' arse. The reason why I say normalizing it is because one white celebrity came out and then they all started coming out like popping up like weeds, like, oh, I don't wash my ass either. Oh, you don't wash your ass? Oh, I don't wash my ass. Oh my gosh. I wait till I see the dirt on my kids. I don't wash my arse either. Is this a thing now?
It's clearly a thing. People don't wash their behinds.
My goodness. And the number, like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were the two celebrities that initially came out first. And then Jake Gyllenhaal came out. Kristen Bell, Coco from Ice-T's wife came out. And then there's probably more as we speak about coming out saying, I don't wash my tail until I see dirt. I don't wash my tail for several days. I don't wash my tail. I just don't wash my tail. And I'm like,
So look, we got a series of questions, y'all. Okay, we need to understand, how often do you shower? Okay, that's the first question. How often do you shower? Okay. I'm trying to access my inner life coach. Like, okay, how often do we shower? Because we need to understand like what we're working with here. Okay. So Jennifer said every day. Maisha said during COVID, sometimes it was hard, but she was at home. Okay, she wasn't going anywhere. Leland said twice a day, of course, every single day. Irma said twice a day. Ashley said every day. Jamila said twice a day. Andrea said daily. Aisha said daily, sometimes twice. Okay. La said regular, preferred baths. Kelly twice a day. Eugenia every day and take a bath. Okay. All right. So this is the
twice
next,
a day seems to be the we
daily to twice a day. Okay, daily to twice a day. Okay, so this is the next question. When you take a bath, shower, whatever, when you wash yourself, how often do you use the towel? Well, let me ask this first before I even ask that. What do you use to wash yourself?
That's a twofold question because that's a two-part question.
First part of the question is, what do you use to wash?
Give examples. What do you mean? Am I using a washcloth? Am I using a loofah? Am I using a
your hand?
No, what's that scrubby brush thing? I use the scrubby brush. It's not a brush. It's not a brush. It's like a, gosh, I want to show you. I want to go get a picture of it and show you. It's like a, gosh. I don't even know what it's called. I just buy it. That's so sad. I just buy it. It's like, it's like a, no, it's not a loofah, but it's like a, gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish I could show you guys a picture of it.
I don't know.
At Walmart.
Look it up. I don't know. So loofah, towel, and exfoliating gloves. Karen said 2 different washcloths. Okay. Ashley said soap and a washcloth. Tiffany said a washcloth and bamboo loofah thing to reach her back. Monty says an extra exfoliating wash towel. Jamila 2 wash towels, 1 for body, 1 for face. Exfoliating cloth, real soap, and getting in the crevices. Okay. Shower puff. Buff puff.
What is this? Can I show y'all a picture? Can y'all see this?
That's a loofah.
That's not a loofah.
Yes, it is.
This is not a loofah.
A bath puff?
This is not a loofah. The loofah looks like one of the, no, this is not a loofah.
It's a bath puff then. Let's call it that.
Bath puff.
Okay. All right. Washcloth. Okay. So this is the next question. Okay. So whatever you use, let's say you use, so with your towels, for instance, right? So I'm assuming that everyone dries off with a towel. This might be a big assumption. Yeah. Okay. But assuming that everyone dries off with a towel and that you may use some type of towel situation to wash your face or what have you.
Keep going.
How often do you reuse or use this towel, right? So are you washing your towel like one use, then in the hamper? Are you hanging it to use it additional times? Like, talk to us about the number of uses of your situation that you're washing with. Okay.
I see what you're saying, because I was trying to understand what that meant. Like, if you use a washcloth and you use it to wipe your crevices, are you using that to wash your face, and how long?
Like, how many days do you use it for?
Oh, okay. Well, so can I answer some questions that
of the
series of questions that you asked?
Answer the questions, girl.
I will answer them. So I shower every day. However, there are instances where I don't. So meaning, like, if I'm in the house on the weekends, there are times when I'm in the house on the weekend and I don't go anywhere. My girlfriend may get clean, but I'm not taking a full-on shower because I'm in the house. I'm not getting in the shower to take a full-on shower unless I'm feeling a little sassy and I just want to feel sassy. So then I'll do that. But like, no, I every day. I don't take it twice a day because I just don't want to dry my skin. Also,
are you reusing that same? You said you use a loofah. Do you use a washcloth too?
I use both actually. I'm not doing too much. I do use both. I do use both. I use the puff that I showed you guys for my body, and I use the washcloth for my face. But I also don't always use a washcloth for my face. I have a skin regimen for my face where I don't use a washcloth. I use something like this brush with a battery thing for my face.
Okay. So you don't use the washcloth to like get in the corners of your eyes and whatnot?
I do, but to do my actual skin regimen in the shower, I use the little brush with a battery. But I do use the crevices. I don't use. I use both, and I use three things. Oh my God, I use three things in the shower. But yeah, but I'm interested in hearing your story about your situation with the bath rug. Help me understand.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Okay, so first of all, let me say I only use my towels one time. Okay.
Oh, you must got a bunch of towels.
I mean, I got enough for the week, and I do laundry every week. So I use.
Continue.
I use my towel one time, and then that's it. It goes in the hamper. Okay. So my washcloth I use one time. My towel to dry off I use one time. It goes in the hamper. Okay. So see, people got towels. So this anyway. So I have 7 towels and 7 washcloths. Okay. So within a week, I should be able to have a washcloth for every day. Okay. All right. So this the other thing though. This is the next question. Do you dry off in the shower, in the tub, or do you get out of the shower onto the bath mat and then dry off?
I get out of the shower onto the bath mat and dry off. Because that's what it's for, right? I don't want to slip in the shower and then try to dry off. Like, I want to dry off outside of the shower, not in the shower. That's just sad. What about you?
I dry off outside the shower.
Right. Okay.
Right. So that's what the bath mat is for. But then, like, one of my friends asked me, so how often do you wash your bath mat? And then I felt like I was being judged because I was like, probably like once a month. And then it was like, ooh, all the bacteria on the bath mat. And I was like, but who dries off in the shower? Like, I don't
wear house shoes too, right? I wear house shoes.
Yeah. But I don't want my towel like touching the walls of the shower. Like I want to be outside.
Some people, they say she dries off in the shower with the water off so you have one person, Maisha, dries off in the shower with the water off. I never heard of that till you mentioned it. I was like, I never dried off in the shower because I, like you, I don't want my bath towel touching the sides of the shower. I don't have a huge shower. Not yet.
Yeah.
But I don't have a huge shower enough to be like, I don't know.
So anyway, this is the good thing though that we have discovered. Y'all taking baths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good thing. Daily. Okay. Y'all are using tools.
Not waiting till y'all see dirt.
Apparatuses and things. You're washing your crevices. Okay. It seems like we haven't come to consensus on what we're using. Okay. This is a good question, Jamila. How often do you clean your shower?
Every day.
Every day? What you mean every day?
Every time I get out. Every time I get out. For me, I wash it.
What you mean? Wait a minute. Wait, I got questions. When you say you clean your shower every day, can you explain to us what that process is?
Yes. So I clean the tub. I don't clean the shower rack, but I clean the actual tub. Because even though I'm taking a shower, or even if I take a bath, every day. Every day. I have to have a clean bath, clean shower. Like,
wait. So you get the comment or the scrubbing bubbles or whatever. Every single day, you clean the shower every single day?
Heck yeah! Who don't? Heck yes! Because if you don't, you stepping into that same dirt. Come on, like you stepping in that same dirt. That's around. Even though it's going down the drain, it's still like you're still washing yourself, and it's still sprinkling on the shower and the bottom every day.
Really?
Every day. Every time I get out, it has to be for me.
So Andrea said like Ajax and like you scrubbing it every single day.
I use a sponge and I use the spray stuff along the bottom of the tub, and I'm washing my bottom of my tub. Yeah.
Wow.
Come on. Like dirt gets on the bottom of the tub and stuff. Like, that's why you can come to my house, and then you can be an uninvited guest and be like, damn, Sabrina, your house is clean, because it stays clean. I stays ready. Like, come on. This
is everything. Wow. I definitely don't clean the shower every day. I probably clean the shower every 2 to 3 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stepping in a dirty shower if I do that. I do.
Wow. Mm-hmm. This has been most informative. We appreciate you all.
No, I don't wear gloves every time, but I do wash my hands when I'm done.
This has been most important. We might have to do a part 2 of this. This has been most informative. I feel like I need to collect data, and like we need to do like a real experiment.
Ooh, like Maisha is on it. Boom.
Listen, how often do how often you clean your toilets out?
So I have the thing in the bowl, and then I also have the thing that hangs on the bowl. When I start to see a ring, that's when I clean it. But I use the thing. I use the thing in the bowl, and I also use the thing in the bowl. I use 2 things, like this Lysol stuff that you put in the bowl, and then I also use something on the ring in my bathtub. But until I start to see a ring, or until I just start to want to wash. I mean, I'm not waiting.
Icky. Right.
But yeah.
Wow. I clean my toilet when I clean my shower. So every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
2 to 3 weeks to shower? The toilet is fine.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna have to do a part 2, y'all. A part 2. We need to, because the Black delegation The brown girls, we got some things we need to figure out. Okay. We need to have like standards of like practice, like standard operating procedures that we need to this was very informative.
I learned so much about all of y'all. Y'all learned so much about me. You learned so much about Kimberland. Yeah.
Wow.
That's but I will say one thing we do have in common, Kimberland, is us, all of us, are the clean folks. I'm just saying, they talk, we clean. My people are clean.
We are, and we wash our behinds every day. So that is a part that we can at least agree with, that we do wash our behinds every day. We don't wait to see dirt. Okay. So that's a good landing point for us all. Okay. And then we're going to figure out the rest of this and how we can bring this full circle. Okay. To make some standard operating procedures. Now, we do want to make sure that we include our mental health moment for today. And our mental health moment is really about thinking about, now that we are, a lot of places are transitioning back to work, what that looks like for us dealing with microaggressions at work and having to deal with all of the things that come with coming back into spaces. So when we talk about microaggressions, we're talking about like comments or actions that are subtle, maybe unconscious, maybe even unintentional, that expresses a prejudiced attitude toward a member of a marginalized group. Remembering that microaggressions are not just about race. It can also be about gender. It could be about age, sexual orientation, ableism. It could be about fertility. So how do we deal with microaggressions in the workplace? So we wanted to give you all some tips for what that might look like for dealing with microaggressions when they happen. And I do want to highlight that we've had a previous Brown Girl boss, Dr. Tega, who talked about how to deal with microaggressions at work. And then we also have our upcoming, our upcoming Brown Girl Wellness Week guest, who is going to be talking about workplace boundaries. So that will also give us a place to talk about microaggressions. So a few tips when you are dealing with microaggressions, and it might sound like, for instance, somebody making a joke that they think is funny, or maybe someone mistaking you for a service worker at your particular place of employment and you're not. It might sound like somebody's saying something like you speak really well or things of that nature. The first thing that we want to do is ask for more information about the statement, right? So when someone makes a joke or they make a statement, it's kind of like, well, what do you mean by that? And forcing them into a place where they have to explain what they mean, right? So if they make some kind of off-color joke or they say that you speak really well, how did you think that I would speak? What do you mean by that? Right? So actually forcing them to explain that, right? And then after that, embrace the awkward silence. Knowing that they are going to feel some type of way. They're probably going to struggle to explain what they meant or what they're thinking about. So allow that silence to linger. Like, what did you mean?
What did you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Yeah. So I have to practice that. I'll practice that in the mirror. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay.
Yes. So let that silence linger, because it's on them to explain what they mean. It's not for you to fulfill that silence. And what they're probably doing in their mind is saying like, oh crap, I just said something that was inappropriate. And that's what we want to have happen. Right. So embrace that awkward silence. Then the third thing is don't excuse it away. Right. Sometimes we're trained to say things like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It is an egregious error. It is something that should not be done. So don't excuse it away, right? Ask them, as Kathy said, ask them to qualify their statement, right? It's not okay. And if they say something like, I'm sorry, you might want to say something like, you should be. That was inappropriate.
So uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
But they made you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So now let me put the discomfort right back in your lap. So, yeah, you should feel
or the
sorry
walk off
about that because that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
That was really inappropriate, right? So then the fourth step is centering it on intention versus impact. So a lot of times they will say things like, I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's nice that you didn't mean that, but the impact was negative. And then you, again, and go back to embracing that awkward silence, right? Go right back to that and let that just hang out, Yeah, well, your impact was really negative. So even though you didn't intend for that to happen, it did. And then you kind of just look and blink, right? And then the last tip is document this stuff when it happens. Like this is cause for really making sure that we are paying attention to the types of things that are occurring. So we want to make sure that we document these instances because documentation is our friend. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen. So making sure that you're documenting these instances so that you're able to go back. If you have to talk to HR, you have to talk to anybody else, you have the references to go back to. Okay, so it is really uncomfortable, I know, but it's really important for us to not be the ones bearing the burden of the microaggressions that other people are putting into our spaces because we shouldn't have to. Yes, Tiffany said clutching their pearls, right? I give classes actually on clutching pearls, like Black people learning how to clutch their pearls like white women do, right? So it's, oh my. What can you tell me what you meant by that?
I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Right. But our discomfort is about illuminating the isms that are happening, and that's important.
Yeah.
So as you all are transitioning back into those spaces, making sure that you actually give yourself permission to not excuse away inappropriate behavior because
even over Zoom, even over Teams, like experienced that. Like you can still experience that microaggression over Zoom, over conference calls, over Teams. I have not experienced it yet.
Let me tell you firsthand, it happens and it's powerful. Yeah. Okay. So make sure that, and we'll continue to kind of like bring these types of things to the forefront to help us navigate through this. And again, as you tune into Beautiful Brown Girl Wellness Week, we will be sure to make sure we highlight that when we're talking about work boundaries, because that's a part of it. Okay. Yes. So thank you all for that. So y'all, today has been just amazing. Like I'm sitting here, I just can't wait to go back to the replay because it has been absolutely hilarious. So as we wrap up, we want to make sure that you all are connected to us. We know we had quite a few first-time viewers who are on. So we want to make sure that you've connected with us on our Facebook page, Beautiful Brown Girls, on our Facebook group, Beautifully Shaded, on Instagram at Beautifully Shaded, and on Twitter at Beautiful Brown You. And we also want to make sure that you are connected to our members network at members.beautifulbrowngirls.com. That is our VIP space where you're free from the algorithm and able to be your beautiful brown self. Again, a reminder, we have Beautiful Brown Girl Wellness Week that is coming up next week. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that you get registered for that. Again, it is free of charge for you to participate. So if you go to browngirlwellnessweek.com, you'll be able to get connected to that and benefit from all of these amazing speakers that we have on deck for Brown Girl Wellness Week. So definitely want to make sure that you also take an opportunity to connect with us. So Sab, please tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, you guys can find me on sabjackson.com. Please support me by connecting with me on LinkedIn as well. I appreciate those of you who did reach out on LinkedIn. Sometimes when I'm getting LinkedIn, I'm like, who is she? Let me look her up. Oh, okay. So thank you for connecting with me there. You can check out my podcast on Bet on a Black Woman. I'm still getting listens. I need to go ahead and never mind. So you can check me out on Bet on a Black Woman, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and yeah, you can connect with me there. Would love to connect with you there. You can connect with me on Twitter as well. What about yourself, Kimberland? You got a lot of amazing things coming up in the pipeline.
Yes.
Community.
So you all can find me on KimberlandJackson.com. And then I would love for you all to support me in my new venture. It is called Minding My Black Business. Okay. So if you will go to mindingmyblackbusiness.com, you will be able to purchase a shirt. This is my place where I am telling my story of what it's like for me I have officially retired from traditional work life. And I am now entering a space where I am able to be my beautiful brown black self. Okay. So this is going to be my space where I'm going to talk about all those things. So I would love for you all to connect with me there. mindingmyblackbusiness.com. You can also connect with me at Kimberland J on Instagram, Kimberland Jackson on Facebook, KimberlandJackson.com. Definitely want to be able to see you all. Yay, Melissa says shirt comes next week. I love y'all so much. So
I can't wait to get my shirt. I ordered my shirt.
So
I'm still waiting on it. I don't know. I gotta
so,
my
so as you all get your merch, make sure you tag me so that I can highlight you on my page. Yes, Kathy, I'm retired and loving it. Like, there are amazing doors that are opening. I just can't wait to share everything with the community. You all always get our VIP announcements, so we'll be sure to make sure that we let you all know first. We love you all so much. We're going to have our next episode is going to be on August 30th. And we'll be back here, same time, same place. Make sure you share the broadcast and that you all will continue the Brownversation in our Beautiful Brown Girls Network, as well as in the comments. All right. So we love you all so much. We will see you 2 weeks from
30th.
now. We'll see you on Wednesday with another episode of Brown Girl Boss. And we'll see you next week with Brown Girl Wellness Week. And then we'll see you the week after with another episode of Brownversations. Love you all, smooches. All the love, peace, and we'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.